Welcome to part 2 of the test series on Discover Check. We commence our position from the game between Grunfeld and Medvenikova with black to play and win. So here what do we see? That black has his bishop and queen lined up against the rook on g2. Only problem is that there is a pawn in between, but this does not deter black from playing queen in captures g2. After force king captures g2, we see three pieces on the same line. Now comes d4, discovered check. At the same time, we now see pawn attacking the queen. So after king g1, it leads to capture of the queen. Black goes ahead on the material count. Let us examine the variation. What if to the move d4 check, white, if he plays queen f3, moves his queen out of attack and blocks the check. But well, then black has nothing to worry, as rook on f4 is also attacking the queen. We have two attack from black. So simple, rook into f3 with further threat of discovered check is here. So that's why white did not go ahead with this alternative. Our next position is similar to previous one. We see here white queen on b3 lined up against the king on g8. Only in between is the pawn on e6. But here we see that black has put up a very firm blockade with bishop on e7, which is supported by his rook on c7, as well the queen on b7. How to remove such blockade? Well, then here the move comes from rook d8 check. Now after this move, this forces bishop into d8. Let us also examine what if instead of capturing he plays bishop f8. So if bishop f8, then there comes e7, discovered check, king to h8, and now you can go ahead with, white can play e captures f8 is equal to queen, knight to g8, leading to mate in 1 with capture of either of the queen. So when rook d8 is played, black option is to play bishop into d8. Now the blockade has been removed. So white goes ahead with e7, discovered check. Black tries queen to d5, tries to block the check. But here white plays a very simple winning move. Queen captures d5, continues with the check. And after knight captures e5, we now see knight no longer defending the e8 square. So here like mate comes not by capturing the bishop, but like by capturing, by promoting it to a queen on e8 square, and it is check and mate. Moving on to the next example, it's from the game between Olsendal with black to play and win. And here we see this bishop lined up against the king on this long diagonal. The blockade is in the form of queen, and now we know the idea how to remove such blockade. So black has no hesitation in going ahead with a queen sacrifice. Queen captures d2, he wins materials. So it is forced for white to play queen captures d2, and now we find e3, discovered check. And even like if black tries queen d5, he loses material. There is also threat of what we say here, e captures d2, and of course with further capture here. So this is how black was able to win the game. This position is from the game between Rasevsky and Byrne with here white to play, black to play and win. And we can see here like there is a lot of pressure on the g2 square with an x-ray from rook on g8, which is in hiding. So the winning move is queen captures g2, and after the force king captures g2. Now we see that stage is set for a discovered check. So bishop into e5 uncovers a check from rook on g8. At the same time, bishop attacks the queen. After king f3, black recovers the queen with bishop into d6 and goes a piece up. We now move on to next position, number 11 in the series of part 2. It's from the game between Kristev and Tringo with black to play. And here, like, black brings about a discovered check with a stunning queen sacrifice, queen h1. This forces capture with the king because there is no other flight square. So after king into h1, what do we find? 3 pieces on the same line, rook on f3 and bishop on d5. So now rook needs to move, but where? So then double discovered check comes handy. Rook captures h3 is double discovered check, and after king g1, the only move, white is mated with rook h1. The concluding example in part 2 of this test series is from the game between Nagel and Messerich. It is white to play, and we already see black king exposed on the h file. So the winning move is not difficult to guess. It is queen h5. Queen takes up her position in line of the king. And now, like it's a simple threat. Move the bishop to g6 or discover check, followed by queen making inroads to h7 to declare check and mate. That is why here black tries g5. He wants to take a flight with king g7 and king f6, but mate cannot be averted. White started with bishop g6 discover check. This forces king to g7. Now comes queen h7 check, king to f6. He thought he is safe, but then mate from knight e4 is game over. So friends, we had a look at 6 more positions in part 2 of this test series. I will be back with the concluding part 3 of the test series on discovered check, which will be a bit more difficult than part 2. Till then, I take your leave. Bye for now. Thank you.